What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome to another Warframe video. So, this is the second video on the Quassus, because guess what? After 3 bug fixes and an actual buff, this thing is actually good now. So we had a previous video on the Quassus, which was like, I think a week ago at this point. I mean, do a daily upload. You definitely see a lot of videos on the channel. But yeah, it was on September 9th. So it was exactly 10 days ago from the time I'm recording this video. We had a video on the Quassus, and I said in that video, this is extremely bad for how much work it takes to get. And at the time of me recording that video, it was true. The blades were not doing, like, that's what the blades were doing before. The actual gimmick of this weapon, which is a war fan that fires off blades when you heavy attack. If you hit them up close with the blade, it was doing okay damage, but yeah. Now let's look at it nowadays. When it's gone through multiple bug fixes, an actual buff, and this is like the same build. I have a Riven on it now, to be fair, but yeah, the Riven is not extremely ridiculous. It's technically less critical damage. So, heavy attack here. Now that's what it does with one blade hitting. So it is extremely, extremely buffed. As you can see, it just one doinks the heavy gunners now with slash procs. This is how it should have been performing the entire time, and that's why I was adamant about it not being very good. So, yeah, now that it's been bug fixed, it's worth getting, and it's actually annoying to build because it takes a Sarah Glass shard. But yeah, it's extremely, extremely good now, so I highly recommend it. We're still using the same build from the previous video. Now, you do want to make sure you use a smite mod on here, which is going to make the slash procs do a lot more damage. Now, the bug they actually fixed is the entire time, damage mods weren't applying to the blades you fire off. So now that they fixed that, the blades are actually like the highlight of the weapon now. And we have a Riven Quassus Paratus, gives you initial combo and critical damage. Initial combo stacks pretty well with Corrupt Charge to give you an even higher combo multiplier right off the bat, but honestly, the Riven stats on this thing are so low, this is hardly even worth it. So as I was saying, like, if you put on Gladiator Might, it gives you more crit damage, and it will do the same thing with this mod. So yeah, I highly recommend it now. Heavy attack build is the way to go. I've tested in mission. There's some fun other stuff you can do with it. As you can see, like, that was from so far away with no Riven. Not like I said, you don't even need a Riven for this. And it annihilates 32,000 damage with like a lazy hit. With a full hit, it was about 57k, and we probably didn't even hit them all, to be fair. So yeah, it got buffed. It got buffed for sure. And now this is Xaku's signature weapon, the Quassus, and it will actually have more accuracy on the Warfan blades, the launchers, with Xaku. But it honestly, it does not feel really noticeable. It feels like the same exact spread and all that on Xaku. So let's just quickly show that, see if you guys can notice anything different, because I definitely can. So here we are with the Warfan on Xaku, and I guess that's apparently a tighter spread and more accuracy. So I'd say just don't bother. Like, I like this weapon a lot on Wisp. I also like it a lot on Ivara. We'll show a quick Ivara setup for this, which is actually pretty powerful. So we've got the Piercing Navigator augment and the Empowered Quiver augment. You basically become the Batarang of Death, because this actually does work with Ivara as well. We're going to use Ivara's second ability, Ivara's third ability, and we're actually going to subsume on Empower on our fourth skill. You could technically subsume off the first skill, but it really doesn't matter to me. I feel like the Cloak Arrow will be more useful here. And it's basically going to be a Piercing Navigator setup for this blade. And it will scale pretty well, to be fair, because, yeah, let's actually get some heavier dudes in here than just whatever the heck we had in here. Bombards, let's do some Exo Goose Drug Officers, too. And, yeah, the Exo Goose Drug Officers will actually be fighting the other guys, but whatever. They'll definitely, there's 10 of them and only 5. This might be a pretty even fight. It's like those Dark Souls videos where you see a bunch of, like, Dread Knights or whatever against the boss. I find those videos hilarious. Actually, yeah, you can't subsume off whatever it's called, the dash wire, because you actually want to use the other augment mod too, which is for increased critical damage while you're on the dash wire. So as you see right here, we fly the blade through their head, and they get slash procced up. Now, of course, with my Riven, you'll have a 3x combo multiplier. And yeah, it's currently doing 11 times damage right now, and it will one-tap these heavy gunners and bombards. Especially if you get a headshot, so yeah. That's a fun thing you can do. I was trying this out on the index, and like, you run out of energy in the index is the problem. You can't use Empower on the zipline, good thing to remember there. And to be fair, you don't even need Empower for this. It's gonna kill them regardless. Another annoying thing about this weapon is it doesn't have that much punch through. Like, there's a tiny bit of punch through, I want to say, on these blades. But to actually, like, totally, like, do this Ivara hilarious, like, battering of death, you need to actually have the augment mod that will make it so you get punched through on projectiles, which is going to be for her second ability. Now we're out of energy. Part of the problem with that is you need to not run out of energy. But to be fair, if I had, like, I don't know if I have vacuum in this pet right now, because I'm still leveling it up, but like, if I would have picked up these energy orbs, we'd probably be full energy. So, yeah, 200 energy. So, yeah, it's definitely a lot better now, guys. The light attack build's exactly the same as before, but now, like I said, the heavy attacks can actually shine here. So, this is not on Steel Path, to be fair. This is on, like, a Mott Fissure, because that's the gameplay I did today. So, it will be fine, the Steel Path, because slash procs scale really, really well. And especially, I have Roar on my Wisp here. So that's that's an extra, it's basically like a faction damage mod additionally. So the slash procs with Roar annihilate. You also got the third ability for Wisp, which will make it so the enemies will fire off ghosts that attack the other enemies when they take damage. And then you have slash procs focus. I mean, the slash procs do so much damage, it's not many damage ticks to be fair, but I actually like this weapon with Wisp. I think that's a pretty fun Wisp heavy attack weapon. And yeah, I definitely would highly recommend it now. You don't need to run like a double elemental or anything like that, and you can run Xeneric as well, because this is a heavy attack weapon. You don't need Naram. I was on Naramon just because I forgot to switch off of it, but yeah, Xeneric will give you increased heavy attack combo efficiency, which if you use the energy, what is that mod called? Focused energy, you'll have 90% maxed out combo duration. So you could even do a different build if you don't want to just do corrupt charge and the stuff I'm doing. You could even go a different route where you're basically a hybrid setup with Blood Rush and stuff, because my heavy attack build has no Blood Rush on it, and the Ivara setup, like, I'm just using a normal heavy attack build. So you could actually go with Blood Rush, energy conversion, or focus energy and all that kind of stuff, and see how that works for you, because this works great for me. The funny thing is, like, in normal missions, like, this is Mott, like, 81 minutes on a fissure, my Kuva Nucor was still, like, destroying everything, so maybe that's because of the Roar? You don't even need this much damage is the funny thing. Like, isn't that hilarious? How much it's changed? It was like, this weapon is not very good and not worth farming for, into this weapon does more damage than we need. That's how a bug fix can change things, guys. Just like what happened with Marked for Death. Applying the mods to... Okay, never mind. It's different than Marked for Death. I should have just not even gone down that route. But pretty much like a bug fix like this. So the bug fixes they changed here, they made it so the blades are affected by damage mods. They, I believe they increased the duration of the fans themselves. And I want to say there was a third one too, but pretty much like, this is how it is now. Hopefully no nerf for Reno. But after that dev stream the other day, who knows what's going to happen. So, yeah. Hope you guys found this video helpful. Like I said, it's a revisit. It's basically part 2 of the video, featuring actually intended stuff. And yeah, I've been enjoying it heavily. I'll definitely start using it. It is pretty much like a slash redeemer. But the problem with this thing is, like I said, not any punch through really on the heavy attack. So it's more of like, you kill the enemies in front of you and it doesn't kill the enemies behind those enemies. So yeah, it does not work very well with mag on the mag bubble, because it doesn't, like I said, no real punch through on these fan blades. The mag bubble is not really gonna, like, you'll kill a couple enemies in there, but it's not gonna like mow through the entire bubble like ridiculousness. So I'll talk to you guys next time. Daily upload videos. There will also be a stream today. Trying to find some other fun stuff, because like, yeah, this was nice. This is one of the good things that happened with the update recently. I'll talk to you guys next time. Take it easy. Peace.